Hello everyone! Today we're going to make a revision of the verb tenses. When we explain the verb tenses, remember that they express the time of an event or an action. Time and how it is expressed in writing is very important to English readers. The English language has 12 different tenses. In this lesson, we will review the meaning of each verb tense. There are generally three types of tenses: present, past, and future tenses. In the present, we have present simple tense, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. For the past, we have past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. And for the future, we have future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. Let's start with the present simple tense. It expresses a habit or often a repeated action. Adverbs of frequency such as often, seldom, sometimes, never, etc. are used with this tense. For example, she goes to work every day. They always eat lunch together. This tense also expresses general truths or facts that are timeless. For example, snow falls in December in Minnesota. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. The present continuous. This tense is used to describe an action that is occurring right now, at this moment, today, this year, etc. The action has begun and is still in progress. For example, he can't talk, he's fixing the sink right now. The present continuous can also be used to describe an action that is occurring in the present but is temporary. For example, John is living with his friend until he finds a flat of his own. The present perfect tense. This is a tense which is used to talk about an event that began in the past and continues up to the present. For example, he has lived in Modesto for 2 years, which means he began living in Modesto 2 years ago and he still lives there. The present perfect is also used to talk about an event that was completed in the past, but the specific time of the event is not important. For example, I have seen that movie before, which means in this case the specific time and dates are not important to say. The present perfect continuous. This tense is used to describe and often emphasize the duration of an action which began in the past and continues into the present. It often shows the consequences of a past action. For example, the children are covered in mud. They have been playing outside. This is the present consequence of a past action. This tense is also used to describe events that have been in progress recently and are rather temporary. For example, she has been living in the city for the last 2 years, but she plans to move soon. The past simple is used to describe actions or events that happened in the past and are no longer true in the present. For example, I attended MJC 1998, which means I no longer attend this team. I saw a movie every weekend when I was a teenager, which means I don't see movies that much anymore. We also use the simple past to indicate exactly when an action or event took place in the past. For example, I visited my sister yesterday, or we went out to dinner last night. The past continuous is used to talk about an activity that was in progress at a specific point of time in the past. The emphasis is on the duration of the activity in the past. For example, I was studying for an exam while my mother was cooking, or we were talking in the park around 7 p.m. last night. The past progressive is often used with the past simple to show that one action was in progress when another one occurred. For example, I was taking a bath when the doorbell rang, or we were eating dinner when James stopped by for a visit. This tense describes completed events that took place in the past before another past event. For example, I had already eaten when my friend stopped by to visit. The past continuous tense. This is used to talk about an activity that was in progress at a specific point of time in the past. The emphasis is on the duration of the activity in the past. For example, I was studying for an exam while my mother was cooking. We were walking in the park around 7 p.m. last night. The past continuous or progressive is often used with the simple past to show that one action was in progress when another action occurred. For example, I was taking a bath when the doorbell rang, or we were eating dinner when Jane stopped by for a visit. The past perfect continuous. This is a tense which is used to emphasize the duration of an action which was completed before another action or event in the past. For example, she had been driving around the city for 3 hours before she finally reached the right address. Let's move on to the future tenses. The future simple is used to show actions that will happen in the future. Will and be going to are often used to describe future actions. For example, Thomas will graduate in June. Maria is going to move next week. The simple present and present continuous are also to express future time, but they're often used in connection with the schedules. For example, she's meeting a new client at 11 o'clock, or the train leaves at 6 a.m. tomorrow. This tense is used to describe an event or an action that will be in progress over a period of time at a specific point in the future. For example, I will be teaching English at 10 a.m. tomorrow, or they will be having a meeting by the time you arrive tomorrow. The future perfect is a tense which is used to describe an event or action that will be completed before another event or time in the future. I will have finished the essay by the time the teacher asks for it. The future perfect continuous. This tense describes an action that has been in progress for a duration of time before another event or time in the future. For example, by the time he finishes law school, he will have been living in the US for 8 years. That was all for today. Thank you for your attention.